Hello, and welcome to a very special Election Day episode of Who Do You Think You Are, episode 120.
If you're not gay, you're a loser.
And that is our friend CJ filling in for, once again, Pedro.
Pedro is sick. Kick him out.
Yeah, he's sick again, you know? And that's what you get for marrying somebody who doesn't believe in masks. So that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say is karma works in mysterious ways. And this time it wasn't really that mysterious. Right now it's 7 o'clock on Election Day. And yeah, we're just seeing what happens, man. 2016, I remember that election. And I remember hanging out with my girlfriend watching the results. And just being like, oh, Hillary's obviously going to win. And I remember like just watching the map. And then it was like 8 or 9 o'clock, so we progressively got drunker and drunker until like it's like the mix between blacking out and just that good, happy drunk and just being like, whoa, it totally switched. And I just remember like social media and everybody, like remember the crying liberals and everything. Yes. But I was so shocked. And I just remember like watching it all happen and be like, wow, Donald Trump won. And now it's 4 years later. And I'm like, his chances I feel like are pretty good. He's behind right now, but
it's so my intuition is that he and yes, hello again. Thanks for having me.
Yes,
you
guys, and also
I'm so sorry
hide your lighters for sure.
Yeah, put your lighters away,
back,
everybody.
Kids. You did bring me lighters, so I appreciate that.
Thanks for having me on. I'm CJ at Blues Clown, Hobo Blues Clown online. Oh my God, thank you. You're the best.
I know.
Oh, man. Okay, yeah.
I'm a libertarian. I believe in free for all. Joe Jorgensen, she's at 1% right now. I feel like my vote did that.
If I would have voted, I would have voted for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I chose to abstain on the last time we talked, I said George Carlin. Mm-hmm. I'm going that route this time. It's not my fault. I didn't elect these, people into office, so it's your fault. I'm protesting the election, actually. It might look like I'm ready for the riots. I'm actually I'm starting the riot right now.
Well, my two things were the marijuana proposition and then the school proposition. My sister's a teacher, and I feel like our education system could do a little bit better. I feel like it's in a pretty good spot, but they could do just the tiniest bit better. I feel like,
Yeah. I mean, they could even just make an effort. But that's another
they don't
story.
even have to do that. Just pretend like you care. Can you just pretend that you care about teaching?
Can we go back to pretending you care?
What's amazing, too, is you feel like after, school's been taught at home for like last 8-9 months. It's like, wouldn't now be the time that parents are like, I guess the teachers, they do kind of a lot. Yeah. But no, they're still just like, no, that's your job. Just take my goddamn kids, get them out of here. And if I make over $500,000, you better not be taxing me to pay for education.
I mean, we literally treat teachers like babysitters. They're state-sanctioned babysitters.
You fuck them, you learn from them. Do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So did you vote? You didn't vote today, right?
I didn't.
Right.
I didn't.
So I went to the Paradise Valley Mall, beautiful mall, exquisite. I haven't been there in years, and I never.
It's one of the best malls in the country.
Yeah. Dude, it was so dystopian because, like, first of all, it was the voting polls were like across from Thai Basil. And so I have no idea where that is. So I just kind of parked somewhere, and I was like, I'll just walk through the mall, and I'll find it eventually. Like either there'll be Trump flags, or people shooting pistols at Biden supporters, or there'll be some kind of queue, right? So I'm just like walking through the mall, and obviously in the last years, if you've gone to a mall, like most places are closed, but it's like almost dark too. It's dark.
Yeah.
All the shops are closed. The few that are still open, you're like, how? Are you still open?
Have you been to Fry's Electronics lately?
I haven't been there forever. No, not since Seattle.
I hadn't. Not since Seattle. I hadn't been there in years.
Uh-huh.
I went there a few, probably a month ago. To get printer ink.
Okay.
And I mean, it's a ghost town.
Yeah.
It looks like they just got looted. When you walk in there, and there's like nobody working, you're just like, what's going on?
And who are the people that work there? They're like, that's all I can do. That's all I got.
Yeah, they're like, we're just trying to get rid of the last Maytag washer in the back.
Like I'm walking through this mall and seeing like these, couple restaurants are still open too. It's like one guy sitting in the dining room and just being like, you actually probably expected to be busy day. Like if there was any day that the mall was going to be busy, it would have been today, and it still wasn't. But there still are a couple of those people, the younger couple that has a child running around, or some like these random old ladies there, and just like it's so dystopian. Like to go to a desolate mall to vote, and then you get there, and everybody was pretty cool. It was chill.
Yeah.
I didn't wait too long. Got there around 4:00, so it was probably before the rush and everything came. And yeah, voted, did my due diligence, voted for a party that's not going to get any. But what I have heard is if you vote for some of these people, if they get votes and they get a certain number, it helps them from wherever they're representing out of, so they'll get a little bit more political power and just a little bit more. So I don't know. I was like, I didn't go in there with a plan. I was like, I was leaning towards JoJo, but I was like, there was part of me like maybe Biden, but like I just couldn't do it, dude. I'm like Kamala, Biden, and I'm definitely voting for Trump. And I just felt like when I was going through, then you go through like the 30 names of people. You're like, I have no idea what this is. So it's like woman, ethnic, woman. So I'm very woke in that sense because if we're gonna destroy this country, let's get some diversity. Because I'm tired of the white guy getting dragged down by all these old white people. So let's let some Latinos do it, some women.
If outcomes dictate whether or not something's racist,
Voting is white supremacist.
Yeah, right? That's true.
most definitely. The majority of presidents have been white supremacists, and we voted on all of them. I mean, have been white. Freudian slip. So
It's all right.
Voting is white supremacist for sure. That's part of the reason why you shouldn't vote. And all of you who did vote, all of the problems of the next 4 years are your fault, including you, Nick. It's on you.
I mean, all the problems for the next 4 years of my own doing. I mean, I'm 32 years old. I live off of my own problems. It's like my gasoline. It's what keeps me going. It's like, oh, you made that mistake. Don't do that again. So I make another terrible mistake. And just, it's sends me back 4 years ago with that girlfriend. Rest in peace. You know what I mean? You're dead to me. Cut it off. Move on.
Yeah.
And let's keep going.
Stop sending me Facebook requests every 2 years.
Dude, this isn't the war in Afghanistan, okay? So you guys got to get over it eventually. You know what I mean? There's new places to invade. There's new stones turned.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Trump, he's been in office 4 years. He couldn't find anybody to attack that's new. We're just in the same places.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, start a fucking war or something.
Australia?
Are you even a U.S. president?
Right. I feel like Australia would be a good place. If you were president, where would you invade right now?
Immediately, I'd invade California.
California. Okay, wow. Actually,
put a standing army in California.
That would get a lot of supporters on his side if he said something like that. He's like, we're not fracking anymore. We're digging again for oil, and there's no oil in California. We're gonna find some.
Yeah, and we're gonna go in there under the guise of clearing out like Antifa after they get involved with some terrorist cell we make up. But really, it's just gonna be eugenics. We're gonna go in there and just clean out all the homeless people. And
that's a spicy meatball. We gotta do something with the homeless people. Might as well kill them.
Might as well throw them in the ocean. Yeah.
I don't know what are you gonna do with them? And honestly, if you kind of, do the dangle a carrot in front of them and they walk into the ocean, they're not really going to know they died. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I'll vote for Martha McSally if she runs my program, which is that it's a program where we feed homeless people other homeless people.
Oh, or that. That's a good idea too. We could do the old Christopher Columbus though. It's not a terrible idea.
I mean, we could smallpox blanket them, but I mean, we could do both.
Yeah.
Give them smallpox, feed them to each other, exacerbate the issue. It compounds and it solves the problem faster.
We're solving the homeless problem here, and I think that's really beautiful. I don't think enough people are doing that because they're not giving us options. We're saying we got to give them homes. Care. We got to give them a one-bedroom apartment that costs $700,000. Okay,
you don't care about homeless people. Yeah. Feed them to each other.
Put spikes on the benches.
Yeah, it's the Soylent Green New Deal.
Put rocks under bridges. You know what I mean? Let's get this over with.
Yeah, get out of here.
So what do you think after the results? Do you I mean, all the cities are boarded up. They're closing down streets, throwing boards over windows. Do you see a riot or a looting happen? I'm like 99% sure it will happen.
I almost
And
feel,
you're dressed like you're gonna go to it after. So I guess I
Yeah.
don't need to ask you that per se.
Yeah, I actually planned the riot. You know, those Russian bot
That's why you're here.
farms? Yeah. I am a Russian bot farm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started up. We're gonna. We've got one group meeting at the El Pollo Loco, and then we've got another group meeting across the street at the what's it called? Not the Home Depot, but the other one.
Lowe's?
No, there's not
Ace?
enough white supremacists.
Ace
to say
Hardware?
Lowe's. We'll say Ace Hardware.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what are the three? There's Home Depot, there's Lowe's, and there's Ace Hardware. Where else you
Harbor
got?
Freight.
I never heard of it.
Harbor Freight. That's where, because you're not a racist.
Really? Is that a racist store?
Yes.
So you're separating your El Pollo Loco and your Harbor.
Yeah, you
Okay.
put Harbor
I'm
Freight
gonna
across
guess
from El
which
Pollo
people
Loco.
you're sending to which location.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways, we need Pedro here.
Yeah, I know. It's a bummer, dude. He keeps on doing this, dude. And it's like, I don't get it. I don't get what I've done to you. I don't understand who hurt you. I just, man, it's sad.
Pete, we're just disappointed. We're not mad.
Should we
We're
call him just to
disappointed.
get it
Let's
over
call
with?
him. Let's call him.
Let's get it over with.
I need to tell him.
I'm not gonna give you a heads up before I call you stupid dickhead. You're gonna give me a heads up before you just, before you just. Oh wait, I'm FaceTiming you.
Should we out him? Well, I'll let him talk.
Oh, I don't know what. Out him from what?
For he's sick with being gay. No, I don't know.
I don't even think that you can make that joke anymore, man. First of all, so that's embarrassing.
I have pink hair right now. I can make all the jokes I want.
He jumped on the wrong line, man.
That's embarrassing.
That is embarrassing. Wait. What are you doing, dude? Speaker. Okay, speaker. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Hey, Pedro.
Pizza.
You look like shit like usual, dude. What's going on with you, man?
What's going on with me, man? I'm reporting here live. I got the statistics. They're coming in.
Okay. What?
Look at I got
All right.
virtue signaling over here.
All right. What's going on then? Tell me.
What's going on? See, we got Trump. Just took what did it take? Florida, right?
Well, you're reporting, dumbass. So tell me, okay? I'm not gonna just hold this phone up for the next 5 minutes again just to hear somebody faking COVID. You just had COVID 2 weeks ago. You can't fake it twice in a row, okay?
How many?
This isn't your fries job, all right?
Whatever, man. All right. Look, we got a tie in Wisconsin over here.
Okay. Damn, who's she, dude? No. Go back to her. Bro.
This bad bitch?
Damn, dude, she thick. She eats those English muffins in the morning, buttered up, bro.
Oh, yeah?
How many states has Kanye won?
Arkansas, Trump's up by
Okay.
about 20%.
Okay.
All right. What do you guys got? What are you leaning towards? Who's taking this?
Joe Jordanson. She's at 1% right now, baby. That's my girl.
Kanye!
I don't know, dude. Connecticut's all behind Biden right now.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, Connecticut. Biden's 56 and Trump's 42.
Wait. I just minimized my screen because I'm learning how to do this better with FaceTime. You have an I voted sticker on.
Because you're a dumbass?
No, because you have an I voted sticker on, and you said you're sick with chills
Wait a
and
minute.
100-degree temperature. Yeah.
The CDC
Vote or die?
And didn't you?
also said it's fine to go vote with COVID in person.
No, this is a vote or die thing. This is Puff Daddy at it again, huh?
COVID doesn't.
That's what I'm saying, guys. Come on.
COVID doesn't
I
see
wore my mask.
protests,
I
and it doesn't see
socially
elections.
Indiana. Trump's got Indiana 60% to 37.
Nobody wants Indiana. So that's a lose-lose.
Everybody in Indiana can suck a dick, dude.
Okay, well, I bet you at least half the people in Indiana could suck a dick statistically. And it could be higher if they're in the right circumstance.
Yeah, well, I don't think you got your facts correctly.
Okay, well, that's not the first time, but
Louisiana's Trump supported.
I could see that.
What are you doing over there, CJ?
I'm.
Yeah, the camera's on you, by the way, just so you
Oh,
know.
really?
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here reading votes.
This is actually why I called you, because it's just not going well over here. We tried this out 2 weeks ago, and now you're calling in sick again, and I'm sick of it.
Latinos for Trump.
Latinos for Trump. Latinos for Trump.
Well, today in my experience. Massachusetts, Biden's got Massachusetts by 37%.
Okay.
All right.
Michigan, Trump's got Michigan. The votes are coming in, people.
Let's
It's going to be astonishing. I think the Civil War is going to happen right after the president is announced.
Bring it on, baby.
What a great time to get COVID, you see?
That's true. You can be a super spreader and kill some of those Antifa guys.
I got my camo. I got my camo fanny pack and everything, dude. I'm ready for the Civil War. Let's do this.
I see that.
Oh.
I like the shirt. Kanye for Prez,
Yep.
huh?
Yeah.
And he actually spelt it P-R-E-Z because he doesn't know how to spell president. So
That's how Kanye
I'm just going to
spells
throw
it.
that out there.
For a split second, I almost wrote his name down. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought about it.
If I voted, I probably would have.
Will you say who you voted for?
Will I?
Yeah.
COVID. I wrote in
Oh,
COVID.
you stupid.
I thought about I thought about writing
in.
I thought about writing in Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself,
But you didn't vote it.
but I didn't vote at all. So
You're a fucking lazy.
Yep.
I was putting together my outfit.
That's why Kanye West will never be president, because everybody's like, I couldn't vote. I was putting together my outfit. And that's the problem with society. I have a nice suit on, a nice tie. It's simple, okay?
And they all spelled outfit ALFIT. Putting together my outfit.
Yo,
I didn't
Ohio,
ask him to say
Biden
that, dude.
took on Ohio, man. Oklahoma, Trump's got Oklahoma. What are we gonna do?
What are you talking? Oh, a remote. Okay, I gotcha. That's what it sounds.
It's the microphone, dude.
Yeah,
I'm reporting on location.
Yeah.
Actually, hold on. Something big coming in.
Okay.
Rhode Island. Trump's got Rhode Island. Yes.
Of course, Rhode Island, more like Chode Island.
Okay, we had to go there. All right.
Yeah.
You
So-
know where
I have a
did it go?
beer hat on.
Did it go? The booth, the voting booth, DJ. Okay.
Say it again.
Yeah, I didn't hear you either.
Well, never mind. I can't repeat a joke, guys. Come on.
Latinos for Trump. Latinos for Trump.
I guess you can, because he just did it.
If Latinos for Trump is the saving grace during this podcast,
Yeah.
you guys are doing pretty bad over there, huh?
I mean, we just started because we wanted to get this out of the way. We figured if we break the ice with you, that way we can kind of blame it on
so
you.
much better if you guys would have been in a groove and then you called me.
Or if you would have showed up like we've been planning for the fucking election special.
This was supposed to be a three-way, dude.
That way.
Have you ever set up a threesome with a girl and then it's just you and your buddy meet up and you're like, I'm all ready to go. I took a blue chew.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I guess we're just sucking each other off. That's what me and CJ are basically doing right now.
And we could have done that any night of the week.
You end up having sex with your friend. Yeah. If
Yeah.
the girl doesn't go, those are the rules of the threesome. I don't think
If you're not gay, you're a loser.
Mm-hmm.
that's.
You heard it first.
Some people say.
Nick's neighbors are going to be like, what the fuck is going on over there?
No, they know. They're Trump supporters. I can tell. I've seen them.
Oh yeah.
Seen the way they look at
Well,
me.
they got the Trump stickers on their cars. and
I
they're
put them
hanging
there.
out- They're hanging out at corners selling Trump merch.
Okay.
Occupying, loitering. First of all, they're loitering every corner on pretty much every other intersection,
Yes.
and it's beginning to get on my nerves. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not like they own. What do you think? You own the place?
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
All right. Well, this bit died. Pedro, you have a wonderful night, and I hope that this is the last night of your life, because I'm tired of you calling in sick to work.
Okay. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
He hung up on you before you could hang up on him this time. Did you notice that?
I wasn't gonna even do that again because it's like you're not gonna do the same thing twice,
Of course.
I kind of applaud him for doing it, but I feel like he could have done a better timing on it. But that's Pedro again, and he didn't look sick.
He didn't sound sick. I didn't look at him, but he sounded healthy as a mule.
Aren't like Hispanics statistically
A little bit worse off with the COVID.
great with health though? They're supposed to have really strong immune systems. But yeah,
Do
it
they?
is. Yeah, I guess that's true too. I don't know, man.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm really excited about this Juby, though. Thanks for this.
Well, thanks for showing up.
One thing we didn't cover there as we're going over, so yeah, Biden's so far leading the presidency. He's got 131 electoral votes. Trump's got 93. Let's do a quick breakdown.
Yeah, okay, let's hear it.
Stoner breakdown.
Stoner breakdown. This is the Who Do You Think You Are special election breakdown.
Biden's leading the presidency, 131 to 93, as of 7:27 p.m. Mountain Standard Time tonight, November 3rd, 2020. As far as the Senate race, a closer battle here. GOP 38, Dems 42. You need 51 for majority, so that race is getting tight. Tight. Republicans are leading the House race, however, 63 to 40. Pulling away a little bit there, but we'll see. There's still plenty of time. There's 218 needed for majority in the House. So.
Okay. Well, we'll go back to that in a little bit and see what happens. Maybe right before we wrap up, get another little look at it. I don't know. Man,
we'll keep you updated as we go along.
Just like I know I've talked about this every week because I've just been so wrapped up in this book, The Immortality Key.
Immortality Key?
Immortality Key. I do that every single time.
You did that last time.
Yeah. But, dude, I read this book, Sapiens, earlier this year, that they talk about the different like revolutions we've gone through in life, and the agricultural revolution was the first one that went through hunter and gatherer, right? And then so that theory was that we found grain, we found a way to produce grain, and that's what kept us located in one area. And also it was actually like inevitably terrible for our society because we started getting sick. We were only eating one kind of food. We were exposed to all kinds of bacteria and disease we weren't used to. We weren't getting the same kind of exercise we were getting before. And so this theory of this, like the psychedelic brew, right? It goes back to, I wrote it down, Göbekli Tepe. Yes, in Turkey, the oldest temple basically that's still left. And they found these 42-gallon basically like vats that if they look at the limestone of it, it's like what some kind of beer or some kind of alcohol would leave behind as it like they would use it over and over and over again.
Okay.
So this theory is that people used to think that it was grain that finally like secluded us down, but what happened was actually they're theorizing is that it was the beer revolution because it was actually way easier to make beer than it was to make bread. With bread, you have to have fire, you have to have heat, controlled heat, you have to watch it rise, and all those certain things of making bread. With this old beer, they would just put the grain with water and it would just ferment, and then this ergot would slowly just keep on bubbling it up. And they called it nature's first pet, like the human's first pet, so it became the first basically like biochemical thing that like with fire.
And if you had a society, I would imagine, I don't know this because I haven't read it, but I would imagine most societies back then had their guy who kept this little thing, that everybody could come to and go talk to God with,
Right. And what's crazier about that? So if that theory is correct, which it kind of seems like it is, because they go to all these temples and all these spots around all over the place that are like thousands of miles apart from each other, and I think what would happen is wherever it was located, the grain would have a different kind of psychedelic effect because there's like up to 30 to 40 different kind of molecules depending on where it's growing, of if it would be closer to a mushroom or acid or how long or ayahuasca, what kind of trip it would eventually give to you. But what's so insane about this, if that is true, that finally they settled down because they knew how to make some kind of beer, which was a psychedelic at that time. That's just how it was produced. And even beer makers now, they watch for this kind of black foam that it comes over, which still happens in beer production now, but they swipe it away because they know it has either a psychedelic effect or a deadly effect. So they just are cleaning it off and trying to kind of wipe clean the magic of it, so to speak. But if that's true, dude, not only did our society evolve, like ever since the beginning of mankind, we've been getting high to evolve. And we've completely taken that aspect away from our society, from our civilization. So we're missing this huge thing that we're all trying to fill the void with something else.
It would make sense
crazy.
When you trip. I can't speak for everybody, but I've felt this way, and it's cliche at this point to say you really do feel like, oh my God, this is something that I was supposed to have. This was supposed to be there, and I've been missing this entire other side of my life. And if we've been evolving in order to seek out this experience, then it would make perfect sense that our gene, like our body at the deepest level, is like this is the good stuff.
It
This
connects
is what
us.
like,
And it keeps us like, I feel like as a society, it like keeps us like closer together. It's the whole problem with the whole God versus science argument right now. Because like I think I don't know what podcast this was, but that I brought up. It's like the God people don't want to admit that there's some formulation, there's some process to the way the things work, and then the science
the
folks
people who wrote the
don't
book
want
didn't necessarily know.
Yeah, and then the science people don't want to say there is some kind of magic, and Alan Watts talks about that. I think it was one chapter I read, I can't remember, a couple maybe days ago or something, and he's talking about how we've completely wiped magic out of our society, and it's kind of cool. Maybe it's because I'm reading them at the same time that you kind of like correlate these things, or if it's something I would have missed if I wasn't doing it at the same time. But I'm like, it's so true. And I loved it because he talks about Christmas, for example. I was at Target the other day looking for American flags and stuff for this podcast, and there's no American flags or anything, but Christmas stuff is already up there. And it's like every year we talk about and joke about it's coming earlier and earlier, the music coming earlier and earlier. And he's like, by the time Christmas finally comes around, we're hungover, we're stuffed. All month long we've been eating snacks and treats and treating ourselves that like the magic, we're just like watering it down so much. That's what church is doing with communion, with fasting. We took the magic out of everything. So you wonder why we're all so angry and thrown up against the wall. Like we really need that like psychedelic renaissance. I don't know if it's just because I'm reading this shit right now and because I'm like a drug addict and a stoner, but it makes so much it really makes a lot of sense to me. I read these things and it's like shattering my sense of reality. And I step away almost in like a psychedelic trance because I'm like, life is meant to be so much more beautiful, and our society is really taking it away from us.
Yes, it's like
to control us.
It's like if you
to.
weren't allowed to have sex.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like
I would
that.
100% agree with that. Yeah. And I'm not having sex, so I could say that because I use drugs to fill that void, and it's filling that void.
It's very much like that. I mean, sex is a birthright. Mm-hmm. You're born to have sex. That's one thing. I mean, your entire life as an adolescent leads up to the point where you're ready to have sex. Mm-hmm. And then, most of the goal, most of the mission for most of life on Earth is sexual reproduction.
Right.
It's a birthright. Psychedelic experiences are no less your birthright. Like you said, we've grown up, we've flourished as a civilization, sprouting alongside these plants that cause this, change in our consciousness. And there's nothing in nature that says changing your consciousness is inherently bad.
Right.
It's just a stigma that we've developed from a certain specific small period of time.
But it was made to control, right? I mean, that's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. And that's back into Alan Watts. It's the in and out crowd.
For better or worse, though, because when you say it's made to control, it sounds like a bad thing. Mm-hmm. But, one of the best questions I think we can ask is, why are we upset someone wants to control us?
Right.
Think about your household, and if you had somebody in your household, you have rules in your house, right?
That's true.
And so you're imposing control.
It's inherent, I guess, in us, right? That's the problem, though, is like then we get a taste of it. We get too much. It's like these politicians we're voting for today. They get the taste of the lockdown. They get the taste of the terror alert. It doesn't really go away. So it's like it's insidious how it will creep up and
absolutely,
and kind of you start feeling that control. You need that control. It's like if you're in a controlling relationship, you're not going to just like let that up and like move on to the next one. You're not going to want to be controlling. You'll be like, what's wrong? You know what I mean?
But I mean, that's what's so genius about the founding of this country.
Yeah,
is that they recognized that. They said, we have to have some law and order, right? Like there has to be some rules here.
But does there? Why?
Because if not, then
to be a big country,
then somebody takes psychedelics, and they start running around your house and putting holes in your walls and freaking your dog out. You know what I mean? And then it's like, I can't be around you, and now we have conflict.
It's like, how big does community have to get? And I think that's kind of like, isn't maybe a sense that like China's too big, America's too big. There's too many humans on Earth. Isn't there like, isn't it possible there could be like small communities, like these temples where they used to take and like drink these, spiked beers or wines. You know, these tales of Jesus going to this temple, walking thousands and thousands of miles, or it's almost like it reminds me of like those old days when you're like taking mushrooms with your friends, walking to the forest to get this trip and to have that experience. Then you go back home and you only do it once a year, twice a year, maybe only once in your life where you fast for 1 week and you go out to, you know, Turkey to try this brew because you heard these magical things. And then it does kind of change your life in a weird way. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we're talking in two different directions.
I know.
I'm
just going
a little bit. No.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I just mean to say because you're absolutely correct, and I don't think I can emphasize it any harder than to say it's a birthright. As far as like you have to have this, and it's not for everybody, obviously, but it is mind blowing that we've been removed of something that's that important.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, if you compare it to sex, how would you react if somebody came and told, and if it was against the law, if somebody caught you having sex, not only, even in your own house, like you would be fined, you could be ticketed, you could go to
Sounds
jail.
like, yeah, that's happened before.
You know what I mean?
Outside the house.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying.
Right. I had to be clear. So, but I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the thing about, I mean, you look at the animal kingdom, even animals get fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Right.
There's you know, you can research it, but I remember hearing stories about this, like there were if you have apples rotting in your field, they'll ferment and the horses will go over and you'll see the horses eating them, and then they're laying around and they're
reindeer,
discombobulated
panda
and shit.
bears.
Yeah, reindeer eating the Amanita muscaria and shit like that. And you know,
Whoa.
what happened?
I'm so used to always ashing into a mug. I literally just ashed into my beer. That is terrible. Only a little bit, so I'll still drink it. It's all right. That's hilarious. Woo! I voted independent party, dude. I'm not the smartest. I'm not the smartest guy. You know.
Kanye for Prez, bro.
But also, man, what it makes me think of too, and it makes me think of this, how much we love writing our own history, how much we enjoy demolishing everything so Western society can take the script over. Say, oh, we'll fill in these blanks for you, and then we'll teach everybody. I mean, this doesn't even go back 100 years. This goes back to 1,000 years. And it's like this, it keeps on happening. It keeps going where it's like, I don't know. It's interesting because the book will bring, because they're always translating Latin, right? Like Latin, Greek a lot of times, because that's where kind of the most prevalent examples of these are happening. And you know, you take words and like this isn't in the book, but you think of something like prophet. You know, what did prophet used to mean back in the day, and what does it mean if you ask, like, I mean, thousands of years ago?
Prophetic.
Yeah.
Prophetic.
But now prophets is money. It's almost in a weird way. It's like we do that trick where like we kind of train you.
What's it called? Not a synonym, but sauna. The one that sounds the same.
I don't know.
Prophet and prophet, you know.
Yeah.
Prophet, Prophet, is more like prophecy.
Yeah.
Prophet is.
But like, what kind of prophets do we have living in our day and age now? Like of great philosophers, or like I feel like
somebody made this point recently. I think it was maybe during the Eric Weinstein Douglas Murray discussion on The Portal.
I've never listened to it before. Is it?
Oh man,
yeah.
The Portal's the greatest podcast around right now.
Oh really?
Yeah, Eric Weinstein's great to listen to. He comes up with ideas that I'm like, not only would I never have thought about that, but it's also genius and explains so many things I have questions for. Thank you. You know?
Yeah, I've heard him on Rogan. I always enjoy him. I think sometimes I'm really intimidated by people, and like even that book, like, and I said this to you before, and like I still am like, I think that's maybe why I like would even consider you like a good friend, because I feel like I've found so much, almost a rebirth in a lot of my ideas, and like that I needed, you know?
Right on.
And I mean, we also did DMT together, so I'm sure that was a big hole that you fucking bursted through my
That's
skull.
how I make friends. I put you through really traumatic situations.
Well, I mean, I wanted to, but it was perfect. I wanted to do it forever. But like, yeah, the fact that you can show me these books and then I enjoy them and then we can converse about them, like that is a thing that's kind of lost as well. You know what I mean? It's like, how many people could be like, oh yeah, like, I mean, I was thinking about this the last time you were on, you're like, we're talking about like Aristotle, like, and then going to Alan Watts, and just like, it's nice to have, so like, you find that like connection through words of somebody else or art. It's just art, right? And it's I don't know where I was going with that, but I just feel like that sense, it's like that magic. It's that Alan Watts magic of even music. And oh yeah, that's I just bought another book, and I can't remember what it's called right now, but I heard at the end of this like Tristan or whatever that dude from the Social Dilemma was on Rogan.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I am not. I'm sorry. I know you like that. That you were into that. I wasn't. I didn't
not
like
the
it. And I
the
hate that.
documentary. No,
Yeah. I didn't.
I
Like
liked
it.
I like the book
and I hate that guy.
Irresistible more than I'm not really a big fan of him.
I'll have to check out Irresistible.
But-
I haven't read that.
But the book that he quoted at the end of it, and he's talking about how if this is the way that like social interaction is going, this is the way that television's gone, this is the way that music will slowly go. It's like a robot starts figuring out the most pleasing beat, even if it's not the most technical beat, not the deepest beat, not the most like, like I like a voice that's it's like crippling in a way where it doesn't even sound good, but it's unique. It's raspy. It's like I hate a perfect voice. Like I hate
You ever
listening.
listen to Tom Waite?
Oh yeah, of course.
Captain Beefheart.
Oh yeah, Captain Beefheart.
Captain Beefheart
Yeah.
is my
Tom
fucking
Waits.
favorite.
Yeah.
If you want to know what a Hobo Blues Clown, like how that could ever happen, it's because of Captain Beefheart.
Gotcha.
Would never probably have happened.
Yeah, I learned about him from the band Man because he's a big fan of him.
Okay.
He's awesome.
I
But
fucking love Captain.
but that's what I
Beefheart.
like, dude. It's like I like that authentic feel, and I don't. It's hard to say that you're losing an audience because you always see people that do it, but I don't. It just.
I think we have a problem. I think one thing that we're doing is we look at pop culture and we say we're losing so much.
Yeah.
And then over here
It's happening.
there's amazing fucking people who aren't getting their shot in pop culture.
Yeah.
And we're sitting here listening to pop culture tell us this is what's valid.
Yeah.
And-
True.
And we're believing them, and what we need to do is go, but that's garbage, and this is fucking amazing. And so instead of giving 10 million views,
Yeah.
find a way to get this into people's living rooms.
I just don't know how that will ever happen. And I feel like
It's on its way, I think.
but maybe in some groups, but I feel like, don't you also feel like people have been manipulated and tinkered with long enough now
Absolutely.
that now it's like you can't hit as many people as you used to be able to.
The internet freed people up to be able to share shit, and they creeped into your living room with their really quality material and content. And so now network TV is fucked. Cable TV and all that. It's just not. It's the past at this point. You know what I mean? It's going down. I think it's an opportunity, and that's one of the things I loathe about shit like the Social Dilemma and all this, is that it removes the opportunity that these technologies and everything present in order
can
to
see
paint
that.
this dire picture.
Yeah.
And the dire picture they're painting isn't even really that accurate. It's this fuzzy thing that's twisted and has spooky music. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And plus that dude's a fucking magician.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
You're an adult.
Is he actually a magician?
He's a magician.
Really?
He talks about being a magician on the Social Dilemma.
I don't remember
Fuck
that. That's
that
hilarious.
guy.
Yeah.
Social Dilemma sucks.
It sounds like somebody has too much time spending on their phone. That's why you're trying to justify it by hating people, telling you live in the outside world, man.
No, but I
Come
think,
on, man.
I think this is the way. I mean, obviously, Joe Rogan has become the biggest name in media, probably bigger than CNN and Fox News and all that.
right from the
bullshit.
internet, yeah.
And what does he have? I mean, he's got quite a bit, but he's built it up himself from a well-to-do to maybe lower class, depending on how you look at him and his history, upbringing. So that's what I mean. Like these things.
He also had like Fear Factor money and all these things that kind
Right.
of put him on this.
But he put himself on that trajectory, and he didn't have to start podcasting, but
Right.
he did.
Yeah,
And now he's
and
the
did
biggest
it.
podcaster in the world.
Yeah, through these vessels. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, there's a good and bad side to everything. It's like there's
Yeah.
no one-sided coin. I just think that we're
You said something, though, that I was trying to, and I apologize, but I
Weinstein.
got...
Weinstein.
No, you said it was that we were looking at it. Fuck, there was a point that I wanted to make about specifically what you said, and I think I got
I mean,
sidetracked.
I don't even remember what I said, so that's also a problem.
Yeah. Oh well.
Was there something you were gonna say from the Portal podcast though? I'm gonna grab another beer too. Do you want anything?
I've got some right here.
Don't know what you're saying.
Dun, 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 dun. We'll be right back. Dun,
You're gonna
dun,
come talking,
dun,
bro. I can
dun,
hear
dun.
it.
Intermission.
We do it all the time.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun,
It was
dun.
really me just trying to remember
Dun.
what the hell I was talking about. This blunt's
Poor-
got me going.
Portal podcast.
Why did I bring up the Portal with Eric Weinstein aside from his
I don't know.
amazingness? But it was to make whatever point that I probably heard from him or something. I don't know. Anyways,
Well,
let's check out election
Voting.
results.
New cases of corona
Yeah.
in the battle states. Kind of convenient, no? Is that a narrative? Do you think?
Corona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you? Can we talk about? I mean, or you can get to that, but
Do we want to tap into my conspiracy self?
I mean, I want to talk about second wave. To be honest with you, I mean, I'm starting to think about like this election and live happening thing. Like nobody's gonna care when this is released tomorrow about what's happening at this moment of time.
That's true. That's true. I mean, but
It's interesting
about,
for us.
I'm
curious.
interested in it.
I'm
and the
curious, but like I just mean as quick.
they might be
hits.
interested in our reactions, though.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point.
Quick update. Biden 131, Trump 93. Dems 43 to 38 GOP in the Senate. So they creeped just a little bit closer, I think, right from last time. Dems 47, GOP 75 in the House. Beginning to take off a little bit in the House on the right. Back to you in the studio.
What's the overall?
So overall for the House,
Just for like state.
how much do they need?
Yeah.
218.
And then what
For
are that
for majority.
131, 90. That's exactly pretty much how Hillary was going. I feel like she was. I don't remember why, but I feel like they do something with blue states leading. I don't know why that is. Is
you
it a
asked.
coastal time thing?
Probably because
Maybe.
they all close over on the
And
east.
those are all cities, right? That maybe close polls earlier. I don't know.
Wait, no, I think they close at the same time because it's 7 and 9.
Oh, that's true. I feel like the Democratic ones always come in before the.
Because they already tallied up the number that they're going to tell you. And
Yeah, right.
you asked me what I thought was going to happen, and my intuition, because I never answered this at the beginning, my intuition was I thought I would tell you if you just asked me and I didn't look at the news that Trump is absolutely going to win.
I think that was the ash.
Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. I forgot you did that.
I made a couple
You're
mistakes.
listening to a couple of real stone dudes talk about the news.
Yeah, what did you just say?
I don't think I would have told you Trump's going to take this by a landslide.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, that was what you're getting back to.
I think there's absolutely no way Biden could win this thing if you just showed me the video. If you just went this guy or this guy, and
Yeah.
you showed me all the times they interacted and all the times they talked and did stuff, I'd be like, obviously the guy who can form sentences.
Yeah,
That guy's gonna win. Like, and you know,
that's the Democrats are so desperate that they don't even care who they're voting for in the. God damn it.
but that should be obvious, and it's not obvious to most people.
That's true.
And that's extremely well. I say most people, and I'm really talking about Twitter.
Yeah.
But at the same time, most of the people that I talk to in my personal life, it's interesting. I talk a lot of shit, and I a lot of times I feel really insecure that people are like, that guy is fucking annoying, and I don't want to talk to him
I feel
at
like
all
that
ever.
every week here.
but people called me a lot this election season
Yeah.
to ask me about what's going on with this, what's going on with
Oh
that.
yeah, that's cool.
And for some of it, I could give a good answer, and for some of it, I couldn't because I've grown a little bit. Like after even just my time in like local government and doing the I canvassed for Ron Paul leading up to 2012, and then after 2012, I joined a libertarian movement within the Republican Party.
Okay.
And I got to like an elected position technically that I held for like 2 years, which was
that's
state
cool.
committeeman.
Yeah.
And I represented 1,500 people or something
Oh,
like
nice.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like so that was my way of going through like into the system and being like, okay, so this is how shit gets done locally.
Yeah.
I got to see committee meetings, and I got to see how bills start and how activists or lobbyists will come through and give their little fucking spiels to committees and during committee meetings and stuff. And I got to see how people are brought from the public in through these little filters
vessels.
and then poised into positions like Kimberly Yee and Paul Boyer. You might have seen some advertisements for them. Like, I've sat down and had a whole conversation with Paul Boyer on a bench outside of some school after a committee meeting one time, and like now he'll come up on my like YouTube every now and then, and I'm just like, all right, like, so that's
weird past.
Yeah, it's just like that's how this works.
Yeah,
you know, I see now. And then eventually some of those people trickle up into federal politics, you know. And I went through this place called the Center for Self-Governance. It's like this really great like adult civics education program is the way I describe it. It's nonpartisan, even though they obviously and they don't shy about what their personal beliefs are, but it doesn't matter because what they're teaching you is how governance works, how local government works.
Yeah.
And they teach, and that's they have. I mean, they are at least as of 2014, they were 100% effective at the local level of influencing the legislation that their groups that they would form
would
want to influence. And
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, it was big.
So do you feel like in that way, seeing that, do you feel like flocks of people are actually just groomed and trained and like it is predetermined in a way? Like you said, they have already casted the votes. They already know how many they're going to get from certain sectors.
They think they do.
Because isn't that why they've changed electoral college in such weird shapes? I mean, the way that they maneuver and outline, I mean, isn't...
gerrymandering. And
yeah,
all
gerrymandering,
of that.
yeah.
Well, I don't know a whole lot about gerrymandering and this kind of thing.
I brought you on for gerrymandering.
Gerrymandering is a good guy, dude. He gave me $20 before I got here.
He always has a tangerine in his pocket.
Yeah, I see what you did there. Anyways, gerrymandering obviously is just when you change the lines of
Remix.
which demographics
Yeah.
represent like which district.
But also, I
We're
guess
all in a district, and so they'll change it. They'll cut it off if there's a bunch of Democrat voters in one area that they can grab, which will influence their elections in the positive. Then they'll, if they can, they'll change the line to grab that chunk of people.
And now that you're saying it out loud, it's funny because I've always thought of it like the biggest conspiracy that they do that. And then I think about cities getting gentrified. And I think about
Look at downtown.
I mean, I think about Mesa. I think about downtown. I think about downtown, which I used to feel like was the coolest place ever. And
it was
I'm
the coolest, and then it was the lamest, and then I was starting to come back around again right before fucking.
And now, dude, I see ads for some places that are opening on Roosevelt and stuff, and I'm like, what is this?
Really? Is it bad?
It's
I haven't
crazy.
seen anything.
I'm just like, who are these people? Like, what happened, dude?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's insane. So, but that kind of makes sense of change because people do move and change. It's unfortunate because it shouldn't be like this weird like moving thing. But I guess in the same sense, we're a spore, dude. We're bacteria.
How could it not be?
Yeah, so it has to.
How could it not be?
That's true. See, so I used to be like gerrymandering
There's so many
orange in the
people
road.
colliding and when you go and you join these fucking. If you're left or right, I should tell you because I'm talking to you and fucking looking at the camera.
Looks better when we do that, but it's like not as natural.
But honestly, like if you want to learn about it, just go join the Democrat. Because you lean a little bit left, right?
No, not anymore.
No, not at all.
No, I wouldn't
If
say.
you could change one of the parties and bring them a little bit more back towards the center, would you want to do that for the left or for the right?
I hate them both so much.
I know that you hate them,
but
in order to make them better, they need to come in, right? They need to stop hanging out over with those extreme guys. They need to come.
But they never will. Like that party is. We need a new team.
I know we do.
JoJo.
Listen
2020. To it. We're at 1.9% right now, and we're coming in strong. Ross Perot for VVP.
Oh fuck, dude. Yeah, who is her VP, anyways?
Who knows? I don't know.
Ron Paul, hopefully.
Hopefully.
That's how she could have gotten my vote for sure.
I feel like this was their biggest opportunity to actually make some kind of mark to that party. Like literally the two candidates that are just like you should have somebody competing.
This is I want to not veer off of my rant really quick.
Okay, yeah.
I just want to complete this thought
Yeah.
because this is one thing that I do believe most deeply. And all of my complacency about the world, about politics, about everything, it sits on top of this foundation, which is you are most effective as an individual at the local level.
Right.
You
Makes
can
sense.
actually go down and talk to the people who are voting on your local legislation,
Yeah.
whether or not to even vote on it. You can go talk to them when they're in these meetings where they decide what comes up and what goes out.
Yeah, you've mentioned that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what you learn at Center for Self-Governance, and they teach you strategy because you go down there, and what happens is you're sitting in this room in like the courthouse or something like that, and there's like, you know, some local legislators hanging out, you know, for like the local I don't know, the local version of the Senate or whatever, basically. The state version of that. You know, you got the governor and then the Senate and the House and the local. And then you've got the same analog federally. And here you're sitting down and it's all these lawmakers sitting around and talking about, you know, this bill that they've got in committee, which is they're deciding whether or not to put it out there to vote on it and to pass it. And you go in and there might be one dude there from some company, like from the power company or from some gas company or whatever, who's got like a white paper to tell them like, this is why I think you should support this shit.
A gift certificate.
Yeah, and very obviously it's like, oh, okay, they sent you down here, you know, because they need this passed because it's going to benefit your company.
Did you ever get like offered anything?
No, because that's not, you know, when you go down there, you see that. And, you know, the other person that you see and the other group of people that might be down there, but almost aren't ever, and this is where you can actually be effective in government, is the person it's going to affect, the constituency that the people in the big chairs are representing, are almost never there. And in my opinion, that's a problem. And that's what I'm trying to get around to is because, you know, you sort of said, like, what's the issue? It's because we don't do that. It's because we treat government like it's fucking stupid. And
it's like the cop that would never show up to a traffic stop, but you show up to court. If everybody showed up to court to fight whatever they're ticketed against, they wouldn't be able to keep up with it.
Yeah.
But not everybody even just goes up.
And guess what happens when you're dressed up like you are behind up in a big chair? And you represent all these people. Yeah. And you look over here and you've got this dude
Kanye for Prez, purple hair.
Even still, you've got this dude in a tie and a suit, and his shoes are shiny and paid for by the company who he's reading his fucking little sheet from. Yeah. And you go over here and you've got Kanye for Prez, and you've got, you know, Pedro, and you've got that lady who sent you the happy birthday thing. Oh, yeah. And those three people are sitting there because they all live in the neighborhood that you represent. And they're saying, I don't want you to do this because it's going to fuck over us.
Oh, and actually giving them the sense of like what it will affect and how it will affect people's lives in a way.
Yeah, because you get to speak. So Dude Boy comes up reading his white paper for the company. And so... if you're sitting there in that tie and you're
they'll cut our bottom line to 3%. We're job creators. We give this community lots of jobs, and
then he looks up at you and gives you a wink because he handed you a gift
Outback
certificate for a cruise.
Outback Steakhouse 545, bloomin' onion on me.
Right. Maybe 1 out of 10 of you have a bloomin' onion coming your way. And so that guy votes for the dude. And everybody else votes for the people that showed up and actually gave a shit because they're like, wow. Yeah. These people showed up and cared. They must actually, this must mean something.
I feel like that's kind of what happened with marijuana, right? And that's, I mean, to be honest with you, that's when I first started getting political because even though I was not against weed, but I didn't smoke weed until I was like 19 or 20, you know? So I was kind of, I just didn't really give a shit. But then when you start smoking weed and you're like, dude, what are they talking about? Then you start getting into documentaries and, you know, kind of the pro-weed propaganda in a way. And then you start going, dude, this is insane. And it kind of is, you know,
it's
like
completely
think of
insane.
Like
why is this illegal?
Well, especially when like this, which isn't Starbucks, it's a beer. Like if this is legal, this should obviously be legal too. What? It's insane.
What?
So that's what got me, because I was in Washington. So that like the pro marijuana was on there since, I don't know, at least when I was 20 or 21, after, when I started actually voting. So I was like, I need to start voting for this. And it started
at
getting
least
closer.
back in Obama, 08,
Yeah. And he should have been the first black president who legalized marijuana.
Why didn't he pardon everybody who was ever convicted of a marijuana conviction? Because 90 whatever or 80, I'm not trying to be, exaggerating a statistic that's not going to help me, because vote for Kanye. Some large percentage of those people are black.
Yeah.
And they're in fucking prison for a long time for
It's
fucking
crazy.
weed.
Yeah.
Why didn't you, as the first black president or whatever you want to claim, tout, not claim, obviously it's true, but tout, if you're going to do that, how the fuck in 4 years didn't you just use your phone and your pen to get those people absolved and get them out of prison and to get this shit legal so that we could make some money?
Well, and it's still happening now. I mean, that's what's even crazy. It's like that. It's like with gay marriage though too.
Yeah.
Like, how long did that take? I mean, I kind of grew up in Seattle most of my life.
Obama was against gay marriage while he was campaigning.
Was Hillary, and I mean, and I remember being being, I don't know, 10 or 11 or something, and just being like, who cares? Like,
and these are the leaders of the world.
And I'm like, you care? Why do you care?
These are the leaders of the world.
It's insane.
They don't actually care, though.
That's the other thing. It's a social issue to divide people, like abortion or abortion. Actually, it's not the same level.
They got an email and it said, "Are we against gay marriage?" We're against it still.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are we going to talk about? Yeah. What are we going to talk about? You know, it's like, what are we going to make people fight about? Because we can't just talk about the real things happening behind closed doors. Right. Like, don't give people an opinion on that.
Politicians are literally just the most skilled people at looking like they care about something that they don't give a shit about.
But do they even pretend anymore? Like, do you really get, like, when you watch Ted Cruz, when you see Mitch McConnell, when you see Joe Arpaio, when you see, Pelosi, dude. I mean, do you really get a sense that, like, they're even pretending to care? No, they do. That's what's crazy. Trump people think that he gives a shit about you. Trump doesn't care about you. I don't care, vote for him, but can you just not fucking pretend that he gives a shit?
Donald Trump is the 1%, you fucking idiots.
Yes. He doesn't care. It's not about that, like, if it's Republican or Democrat or like, that's what's crazy to me. It's not because I obviously know
one thing,
but people do believe this guy cares. They believe he's Christian. They believe that he loves. He has been a Democrat his whole life. I mean, I don't understand how people just fucking kind of lie to themselves. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah. It's just a libtard thing.
He's been friends with Democrats his entire life. You could at least say that. That's definitely true.
Yeah. Was Epstein a Republican or Democrat?
He hung out with all Democrats. Well, I mean, he hung out with anybody who
Democrats
was in power,
are pedophiles. Hunter Biden, lock him up.
Eric Weinstein shared this fucking thing on Twitter that's it's a scale. And it has a bunch of different spheres of influence on it, like entertainment industry, tech industry, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it showed who leans left and who leans right. And for the most part, it's tech industry, entertainment, and a couple of other, so it's like Hollywood, academia, and big tech. That's way over to the left.
What?
I know, it's shocking. Can you fucking believe that?
You can go 15 seconds back on iTunes and there's a button. I mean, that's crazy.
And over to the right, and over to the right. Hold on, because I'm gonna blow the fucking. I'm gonna blow the rest of your mind right out the back of your butthole right now. Over to the right was oil companies and lobbyists and can you fucking believe this?
Are you listening to Alex Jones lately or something? 'Cause this is insane. I don't know where you're drawing these theories from.
I wish that I remembered why I started talking about this. That joint got me so lit that I don't remember why I started talking about it. What were you saying before that?
You think I have any idea what I've been talking about this whole time? I'm surprised that we've almost made it this long. I'm proud of her. Well, I'm just still surprised. And I'm not surprised about this whole thing of people believing somebody cares about you.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Republican or Democrat?
Was Jeffrey Epstein Republican or Democrat? Yeah. Where did Jeffrey Epstein infiltrate? He infiltrated science. He infiltrated the universities. He infiltrated Hollywood. and he infiltrated finance. Finance was more towards the center, though.
That's interesting. So he was in he was getting the Outback Steakhouse. If you're
Jeffrey Epstein was a Democrat. That's what I'm fucking saying. If you vote for Democrat, you're voting for Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
You fucks.
So that makes sense because, if you trace the breadcrumbs, if you look at where that person spent that Outback Steakhouse gift certificate and who they got it from, why is that person always interacting with that person?
Yeah, Paul Boyer, are you eating at fucking Outback Steakhouse?
Yeah, 2 for
Sorry,
2.
I don't know why I'm calling
2
out
for
Paul
2
Boyer.
ribeyes right now with mashed potatoes.
He was fine.
#/ who do you think you are? Grubhub. But no, it's just crazy. Like, that's the thing. It's crazy to think of the illusion of people. just pouring.
For you.
This is what Kanye for Prez believes in. But like, it's crazy to think that like people are so disillusionized. What's that word?
Disillusioned?
Disillusioned by reality. Like, we put such blinders. We've created such echo chambers for ourselves.
It's incredible.
It's so sad, man.
It's amazing. At this point, because a lot of times I'll get fucking anxious. I'll get real anxious. This is part of the reason why I smoke 1 million bowls a day, is because if you just like put a couple.
Really, you with purple hair, goggles, scarf. That's crazy.
If you put
bombshells on the back half of this podcast.
I like saying obvious things as if I'm really amazed by them. It just makes time
You guys
go
would
by.
never believe
It
this.
makes time go by. No, I fucking. Also, I can't remember anything I begin to say.
We smoke 1 million bowls a day. I mean, what is this
Part
gonna
of the
happen?
reason why I smoke 1 million bowls
Anxiety,
a day
that's right.
is because if you look around and you see what people are doing, the very first thing that they tell you about God and where shit came from.
Yeah.
If you just go along the normal progression, eventually you ask questions, and you're sitting in a group of adults and you're asking a question, and they all go, I mean, I don't know what the fuck the Bible says about dinosaurs, dude.
That's so true.
I'll talk to you when we're done with the whole youth group class, and then afterwards they don't talk to you.
Dude,
And
exactly.
You go, so wait, nobody knows what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
That's what you're telling me?
So that illusion shattered for you, it sounds like, at a much younger age. Because I think I was so engulfed in it by asking these questions, wondering these things, and not getting an answer that made me feel safe in any fucking sense.
Right.
That I was so depressed, so fearful of death, burning in hell, that these obvious questions I felt like that these pastors and priests should know aren't being like, well, you just got to believe. And I don't think, I mean, it's cool hearing somebody else say that, because like I don't think a lot of people realize like how much that can fuck you up. Because if you're straight from the womb to this God-fearing man, and then you start not fearing God, well, you do fear God, which is kind of weird because you don't believe in it. So you go atheist, and that's
or
kind
do you
of dark
fear
and
his
cold
creation
too.
or whatever?
Yeah. And then it's still a time loop because you talk to your parents still that are still religious, and you're on the outskirts of it. They're like, well, these people that I also love believe I have a stone heart and I'm burning alive in hell for eternity.
Your parents are still religious?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Have you had conversations like this with them?
No, definitely not.
No?
No. That'd be funny.
When I was...
I think my dad called... I don't know if I should say it, actually. I'm going to stop myself there.
Burn him,
Yeah,
burn him.
No.
Burn him down.
Just going to say he used very... terms you're not supposed to use anymore. Like when one time I was like quoting something like from Buddha. He's like, said some choice words about how he felt. I'm like, damn, okay, that's like kind of where that goes.
Did it rhyme with sink? When I was 7th grade, you're 12 years old, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I think I was about 12.
She said she was 18.
In about 7th grade, I joined this youth group because I met a kid at school who believed in God.
Yeah.
And
embarrassing.
I was looking. I was like, hey, since I was a little kid, I liked to ask people, and I would come up with some weird thing to be able to be like, I'm a deep thinker, that's all. But really, I just wanted to know if other people believed in God or not, because I was like freaked out.
So 12.
But when I was even from a little kid, I was like, hey, do you believe in God? And then I found a kid who did, and he liked skateboarding too. So we would skateboard, and I would be like, do you think I could like come to one of these youth group things you keep talking about? And so I fucking got him to invite me, and I came and I checked this place out. A little while later, they invited me to go to camp.
Okay.
Like church camp. And that was fucking cool because, you know, like all the girls are on one side, and there's like these
Did you
these
sneak to
girls.
their camp?
No, man, it wasn't even that. I didn't have that experience because part of the reason is that I'm this kid who's not there with his parents, like the only kid who's not there because his parents are making him be there, which should say something but to the adults in the room, but it doesn't. And at one point, I bragged because at that point I had smoked some weed, but I didn't like it, and I had like a panic attack when I did and stuff.
12 years old.
I had, and I had just like tried it. You know, I didn't smoke weed, but my friend Dylan, who's a fucking dickhead,
In jail now. Shout out Dylan.
Dylan's not in jail.
Damn. It's like a 50-50 chance.
It was a 50-50 chance. Better.
And
odds
there's still
than that,
time,
but
Dylan.
As far as I know, Dylan's not in jail. But I could be wrong. Anyways, he
Call Dylan. Hey, Dylan.
he
come out here.
said-
I actually have him.
and he posted on LiveJournal as well, which for you youngins was like MySpace.
Oh my God, how cringy are some of the things that I put out on there? Oh my God. Is that all deleted? I hope so.
I don't know. I look for it sometimes, but it's, I
Man,
think it's
I have
gone.
some songs deep on the internet that I am not proud of.
I found a.
Well, actually, the ones you can find, I'm not proud of. So
What's that computerized, really cheap computerized version of music called? They use it for like video games and stuff. It's like 8-bit music. And
yeah,
shit.
yeah, I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
there was a version of that of "Comfortably Numb" by Pink Floyd, and there was a like a screen overlay of autumn leaves falling that I still remember.
That sounds kind of cool, actually.
That was on my LiveJournal,
Yeah.
and then I would just post like lyrics to my songs from middle school, like "Baby Doll Abortion" and "Uncle Jesus."
Yours sounds cooler than mine, because mine was like, yeah, here it happened again, man. She didn't return my call.
You had the
I
emo.
loved-
The
oh,
emo
it was like, that
LiveJournal.
should be private. You know, it's background black,
That should
red
be
text.
That's
just like
embarrassing. Yeah.
this
See, mine was
this
white
might be
and
my
blue with
last
the
day
autumn.
alive. XOXO.
Oh,
And I still kind
man.
of talk like that. That's who I am. I'm being
See,
sad.
back in
So
the
that's
day, though,
thing.
my friends didn't have enough sense of humor for me to even joke like that. I bet if I would have said that, they would have asked me a little bit, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I'd be like,
Yeah.
"I'm just joking," and then they probably would have stopped hanging out with me.
Yeah, that's probably why I
Legit.
didn't have any friends. And I saw a lot of counselors. I was randomly called into like counselors' offices or a lot. Like
That only
they'd be
happened for me once.
they're like, we saw this song that you wrote, like in 7th grade or something. Like, here are the lyrics.
Please tell me you're getting called into the counselor. For
It happened 2 or 3 times.
Tell me, please.
So the first time I was in junior high, and junior high 8th grade or something like that.
7, 8, yeah.
And so we were writing a story, My Beautiful Disaster. That's what I named it. And it was
School counselors are useless, and 7th graders suck at writing.
oh, dude, it's just so embarrassing. And then I was like, so I'd write the story, then I'd put like song lyrics of mine inside of it too. So that was the first time. So I was 8th grade. Then
What had happened?
they just talked. They were like, "Are you suicidal? Are you having feelings of like hurting other people?" And it was very shallow entry level questions that I just
Sterile, right?
yeah, and I'm just like, no.
It was like the white lights under a doctor's,
But
at a doctor's office.
But dude, I think about so okay, then 10th grade, and I guess I remember her like reading the lyrics, and I also think now to being like, yeah, it's a sterile thing because they don't really know you because it's kind of impossible too. There's 1,000 kids, even 800 kids, 3,000 kids.
But
in some
you
school.
can sit down with a person and go, "Dude, are you okay?"
Yeah, that's true.
You don't have to go, "Where do you live? How old are you? So why'd you write this? How'd you hear about abortion?
Yeah.
You know anybody who's had an abortion?"
So is that how they broke it down for you?
Yeah,
'Cause
but keep
I guess because I think about it and I think about on this outside perspective now, being like 20 years later, and I think about the lyrics. I would also think that an adult would be like, all right, he might be saying he's okay, but like he needs to start seeing a therapist. Like once, and I guess I did a couple times. Like later in my
Did your
life.
counselors make that kind of
No,
recommendation?
No, they didn't though. But I feel like they should have, because the songs are about killing myself or killing a girl that I loved.
yeah.
Like it's about murder.
I
It's about
wonder-
murdering myself or somebody
It's
else. And I'd
so
be like,
weird how there's like an epidemic of suicides,
Yeah.
you know, with kids during that time period and everything, and
Right.
school shootings. How does this happen? How does it
Yeah.
slip through the cracks?
yeah, who knows?
These counselors are so
Yeah.
diligent about their
know.
job. They really, you
But
get the
also-
sense that they care by how hard they try.
Prop
for you.
208 will probably lose, and they're going to be defunded once again.
Fuck
Defund the
them.
police, defund the school.
How about you do a better job? We'll give you some more money, you
That's
lazy
true.
bitch.
I mean, that is true, right?
No offense to your sister or whoever it is.
I mean,
that
she's
was-
not a counselor. I
My
think-
sister's a teacher
Yeah.
too, and some of her
I mean,
friends.
there's a sense of that too, and it becomes that sense of entitlement of being like, you're doing it because you're passionate about it, do it because you love, and then it becomes draining, and then it becomes this weird systematic pattern you've been sucked into by the Western society. So it's like, that's the thing. I understand the numb feeling. We're all numb. We're all fucking numb.
Yeah.
Maybe this counselor was fucking numb. Maybe they were going through a divorce. Maybe their kid died of cancer. Maybe,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, who knows what kind of fucking, like, are they really supposed to have this job? Is this police officer that's kneeling on a guy's neck for 12 minutes? Is he supposed to be a fucking cop after he's been in multiple shootings as well? Like, the people aren't in the wrong, like, we're all fucking numb. And we're also numbing ourselves by seeing the news on a daily basis, boarding up windows and walls, being like, all right, now it's ready for you, Antifa. Come on downtown, because why wouldn't they now?
We saw an international child sex trafficker
Yeah.
kill himself in
Right.
prison.
Yeah.
And then it just is old news now,
Yeah.
and we're numb?
I know.
We're not numb.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
We care.
There was a shooting in Vegas. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. You
there-
told me, what was
how
the
many
number
school-
on that?
How many school shootings were there last year?
I
Or,
don't
no,
even
I mean,
remember.
No, and like I think it's under Obama, like his last year.
There were a lot of terrorist attacks under Obama, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Take a little sip there. I don't know, man.
Anyways.
We're about near the end. We should probably just do a last recap, I guess.
Shit.
I know. It always locks in at the end.
Yeah.
Well, you know why? Kind of know why it was rough to get into the vibe? Because we also came in like fully expecting that like 3 people. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't literally until an hour ago. Pete's like,
Yeah.
he has an I voted thing. He's FaceTiming us. Like, I don't feel good, you guys. You
Yeah,
know,
my
his
temperature
wife's
is 100.
making like spaghetti
oh,
in
it's
the
normal.
background.
Oh, it's 100. Oh, it's normal. Stop putting the thermometer under the light bulb.
Yeah. Macaulay Culkin,
Jeez.
lookalike ass.
Pete.
Yeah. So when we wrap up, what are we at? What's it looking like?
Okay, let's take a look at these statistics.
Let's take a look at these statistics. Let's find out if we were right or wrong. I really wonder what's going on.
I can tell you we were wrong.
What are the statistics, CJ?
So it's let's do a final breakdown.
breakdown.
Okay, Biden is leading the presidency as of 8:19 Mountain Standard Time.
Okay.
He needs 270 to win, Nick.
This was a while ago, huh?
270 to win. This is 1 minute ago. And so 131.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he needs another 150 to win her.
So Antifa, don't strap up those boots just quite yet.
And
Leave
give
them
me-
off.
Give me a call when you do. I'm going to come to your side, throw an egg, go to their side and catch it. I'm going to be all over the place. you
Order that
motherfuckers.
pizza. You still got a good 45 minutes an hour. It could be a long night, Antifa, so make sure you boot up.
Elections are for fascists.
So, yeah, I mean, where are you going to loot tonight? What's the best thing to do right now? The Christmas time's coming. We
I'm
could
going to loot
buy
the
something.
Dollar Tree.
Not a great idea.
Why
not a
not,
great
dude?
idea. Because I think how many things worth $1 you have to steal to make a decent anything.
I won't have to buy a Christmas card again for the rest of my life.
You're looting for Christmas cards. This is how deprived America
I love
is.
Christmas.
I love Christmas. Make the season longer.
Yeah, don't complain about it starting in November. Let's start it in June.
Bring real Christmas trees back in every house.
Make America Christmas again.
I'm pretty sure that was a saying probably.
That actually was
Yeah.
You
right?
can't even make a joke without hitting reality.
I know. It's so crazy. Like, I mean, that's why like Saturday Night Live or something is so terrible, right? But it's so funny because I mean, I know these people that are. It's not Happy Holidays. It's Merry Christmas. It's like,
Are you sure it's Merry?
yeah.
It's Merry Christmas.
It's just so. It's so.
Maybe evaluate your attitude.
It's so insane how normalized that's become.
It's a bunch of old grumpy
But
grandmas.
not. You know what? It's not even that it's normalized.
It's
that
menopause.
it's actual thing.
It's pop menopause.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's like enough crotchety old white ladies who are still hanging on to the power of their prowess back in like the 70s or whenever they were actually popular.
Well, yeah.
And they're making themselves, they're staying on TV trying to stay relevant, and they're all grumpy.
But it's also like, if you think about this, okay? So those parents, that generation going through menopause right now, like they look at their parents and are like, my grandpa said something racist, like that was crazy. So what I'm saying is nothing. So it's funny to think like what maybe we're that to our next generation, even though they're like, dude, I had purple hair.
We're
I had
that
a Kanye
to Gen Zers.
I know. But then think about their kids. So it's like, and then we're even worse. It's like, dude, I'm woke. Do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
It's like, first of all, don't call me that. Don't say that word. And just like, I don't know what kind of words I'm supposed to use anymore. You knucklehead. That's fascism.
You started that word with a K. The letter K is a
That was
microaggression.
Fidel, and then they just start stabbing you or something, with some volume thing they have. Like they're doing to Bluetooth my, earpiece because I'm definitely gonna have a hearing aids when I get old. So my hearing is shit.
Yeah.
So get on that, Elon Musk. Neuralink, who cares? Let's get the ear department going because that's going first.
Yeah.
My trouble is going away.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Trump.
Yeah.
99.
Hell yeah, dude. Latino.
We just didn't end the count, so this
know.
is still recording. Yeah, so Biden 131, Trump 99. Looks like, oh shit, the Senate is like almost neck and neck now. But the Republicans are probably going to take the House based on what we see here. But this is all so early and bullshitty that who gives a fuck?
And then the mail votes, whoever loses is going to complain about the mail vote. So it's just,
Yeah. You can't, it's
America 2020, baby. Can't get any better than this.
Yep, 2021 is looking bright.
I hope so. Amor
Y
paz.